Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Adam Duritz is here, and he's on tour this summer. The Counting Crows are out. Wallflowers opening up. Kicking off June 14th in Farmingville, New York, and ending July 21st in Costa Mesa, California. Yeah, I mean, I really do got to say thank you so much for coming here because, I mean, at this point, you got to be over all this. I mean, like, what does it take for you to do a show like this? Like, I mean, how many people could possibly go to your concert because you're plugging it on this show? I mean, don't you feel this?
Don't say that.
But don't you feel this is a waste of time for you? Like, if I were you and your representation called you and said you want to do the Artie Lange Show, I'd go under no circumstances.
I have a.
I mean, I really appreciate it. This has got to be like you're not.
No, I got a point.
Ticket.
I got a point. Nah. The opening of an envelope. I guess at this point we'll play the opening of an envelope. I don't know. Somebody said to Artie Lange. This week I did a lot of other stuff. I did like ABC morning shows, like and CBS morning shows, like 8 o'clock. That show, The Couch, and they were all perfectly nice, but.
You're like, why am I
8
here?
8 a.m. on TV is not my joint. You know what I mean? That is just not my wheelhouse.
Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I mean, it's like, at some point, your representation should go, I'm not even going to bring that to them. I mean, the fact that this even got to your desk was like, my God.
Well, I think they were happy I'm awake. Yeah. I mean, this is easy. I woke up a little while ago, so I've been up for at least, an hour.
What's your schedule like on a show day? They have a concert. Like, when do you get up? What do you do? Sound check?
I get up pretty early generally nowadays. But I'm like a monk on tour now.
Really?
Yeah, because I
must say, you look
screw
good.
it up and like
you look
have my voice
good.
go out. So
you look
I don't
healthy.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
We sound check we leave about 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Get sound checks either at 3 or 4 usually. And we rehearse for a full hour then.
You do a full hour of stuff on every show day.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing 2 days in one city, you'll still do like the second day. Okay.
Well, we like to work on stuff, especially with when we're going to record in the fall, so we're going to work on stuff. But also, it's just like we change the set list every day. So,
okay.
There might be some song you want to play that we haven't played in a while, so we'll work on that.
How many songs you do in an average show?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it varies.
This is a great tour. I mean, the Wallflowers and these guys.
I'd go see that in a heartbeat. Yeah. I mean, especially with what's my God, this is a concert I would kill to see. Especially compared to other stuff that's like an.
You don't have to do that. I mean, seriously.
No,
I'm already here. It may or may not help sell tickets, but I'm here. You don't have to. I appreciate it. It's helping.
There's no way it's going to help you sell tickets.
Who knows? Somebody else is awake right now.
This really is nothing but a favor to us. But
Howard gave me $20.
Did you do Howard this week?
No, not this week.
Yeah. Now, are you still friendly with Howard? Because you guys were really tight for a long time.
I don't see him as much anymore because I haven't been to the gym lately, but he's up there.
We
used to work out every day.
From the gym, that's
right. Yeah. We used to I guess it was after work for him. It was really early in the morning for me. It took me the longest time to realize he was coming from work.
Would you do that sometimes? Would you stay up all night and then go right to the gym?
Hopefully not. No, I sleep a little better than that.
I did that in Vegas a couple times. Actually, a story I told on the show where I was so scared that there was so much badness in me. It was when I was partaking in everything, and I went right from a strip club, in corduroy pants and a leather jacket at the Hard Rock in Vegas. I went right into the steam room to sweat out whatever was in me, and I was told later I could have died.
You could have just masturbated.
Yeah, of a heart attack. Well, I was thinking about doing that in the steam room. But there was another fat guy next to me in a towel, and I'm in there for 2 minutes, and who walks in, buck naked, is Dennis Rodman. And he sits right in front of me. So it's me and this fat guy, and I'm sitting there in a leather jacket and like a Led Zeppelin Zofo shirt or whatever. And I'm looking at the fat guy and I'm going, this thing is right. And he gets up, Rodman gets up and starts doing like these deep knee bends. And he starts grabbing his penis and starts like stretching it like this, like
jumping rope.
Yeah, like jumping rope almost. And then he starts touching his toes. His ass is like right in my face. And the fat guy had to leave because it got very awkward. And then afterwards he did Howard, and he said, I see you in the steam room. I was like, yeah, that was me. He basically gave me a lap dance.
He used to come out to a lot of shows. We did some tours with Live a long time ago, and they were really good friends with Dennis. So Dennis would come along. We did a whole summer together, and that was when Dennis had Rodman TV. And he had that bus.
In Newport Beach.
But we were down the south. We were like Atlanta and like Miami, and he was just kind of coming along on a tour with his own bus with all these chicks on it. We went out a lot of nights.
I'm
I
sure.
I really got along great with Dennis.
I hung out with
Nice guy,
Dennis.
yeah.
I hung out with Dennis in Vegas specifically several times, and it was never a bad time. Yeah, we always had a good time. I actually ended up at that house in Newport Beach one night out in L.A., and oh god, that was just fantastic. But now you talk about a band like Live, great band. Like, what's a band like that doing nowadays? They just quit and they.
No, I think they're playing still.
Do they still tour?
They do some separate stuff too. I know one of the guitar players just made his own record.
Are there? I guess there's festivals where guys like that can still play because that's a band.
Certainly in Europe.
They had 3 or 4 songs that are amazing.
Oh, they're from Central PA. They're from York.
Oh, they are.
Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't heard anything. Not even in Central PA.
Well, even a band like Soundgarden, like all you guys became really famous around the same time. They were huge, and I guess they still play
They're back
in there. But
playing again. There was a hiatus there, and I think they're putting stuff out again now.
did you know Kurt Cobain? Did you know him at all?
Yeah.
What kind of a guy was Kurt Cobain? I mean,
Sweet guy.
Sweet
Nice
guy.
dude.
Just was it like? Is this an obvious thing where the drugs were it was like a matter of time, or did you not see that side of him?
He was just a really nice guy. He's just really nice to me. It was
Yeah.
before, I met him before we made our first album, or before we released our first album, certainly. Because we were label mates. We were both on Geffen. We were both signed by the same guy.
Right.
We're kind of his 2 little brothers.
What was it like working for a guy like David Geffen? Did you know him, or when you
Yeah.
signed with Geffen, did you see him personally, or like?
I got summoned out to the house once.
Is that a Malibu house, I assume?
Yeah.
Now, what is that like?
Well, I drove out there, and if you don't go out to Malibu, it's like it just looks like crap the whole
Right.
way. It's just like this little.
Then out of
you're on
nowhere.
that one street on the PCH, and
Right.
it's just like a bunch of like this little wall with doors.
Yeah,
in
and
it.
you're
It looks
saying
very
you're in
nondescript.
Malibu. I know. The first time I went out there, the same thing. What? This is where all this happens.
So then I found the address and I rang the doorbell and waited a while, and then the door opened, and it's like he's got 3 properties, and he's like cleared 2 of them. The house is in the middle, on the middle property. It's completely made of glass.
Right.
There's a really, really old man, butler type, at the
Right.
gate where I am, who wants to take my coat, and in the distance at the door of the house is Geffen.
It's David Geffen.
And then the guy said, follow me, sir. Walked in. It's a long walk because I felt like, well, this is just like everybody's looking at me, even though everyone's just kind
Now,
of
was
David
this
Geffen.
before you put out a record?
No,
with
this
him?
is after it blew up.
Oh, okay,
this is
so
why
you're
I was
already
summoned because
famous
we were bringing
'cause
in
you were
the
making the money.
Yeah, and then he said on lunch we had like I remember this because we had these salads and with like seared tuna on them.
Yeah.
And every vegetable was perfect, incredibly crisp.
Every vegetable
Not a
looked like
blemish on anything.
every vegetable looked like an unbelievably famous gay guy put it together.
The best vegetables ever displayed on a plate, and I mean, the fish proud to be dead and eaten by us. I mean, and then he told me like stories of his life in music. It was very interesting.
It is great to meet an interesting guy like that. He's a guy I'd like to meet. I have a similar story where about 7 years ago, after I put out my first stand-up album, Howard spoke nicely of it on the air. So that gave it like sort of carte blanche for people to call. So Rick Rubin called me, and I was in L.A., and he did the same thing. He summoned me to Malibu. And I went out to Malibu with my road manager at the time, and I had a kind of a similar experience. And we sat in his backyard in Malibu, and he wanted to produce my next record. And unfortunately, I OD'd on heroin before that could happen, and I had to go away for 2 years. But I'm still in contact with him. We talk every once in a while. But we talked for about 3 hours while my road manager stood outside with some of his help playing with the dog. And he told amazing stories. He was just like a really genuine, like interesting guy.
Do you know him?
Yeah, raconteur.
You know
Rick, yeah.
There's a guy who is just fat. I guess we got to go to a break, but I'm so
We do. Let's take a
fascinated
break
by
real
him.
quick, and then you just have a few more minutes with us, I promise.
I'm fine.